Many nations have been disputing sovereignty over numerous islands, reefs, and shoals in the South China Sea for a number of years. China, Taiwan, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei all claim possession of the Spratly Islands, which are situated in the southern part of the sea. The conflict has led to hostility and occasionally violent altercations between the claimants, and in recent years, the intervention of other powers like the United States has made things even more difficult. One such incident occurred recently in the Spratly Islands when a U.S. Navy engaged a Chinese warship during a routine operation. The incident has once more highlighted the South China Sea tensions between the U.S. and China and prompted concerns about the possible repercussions of similar encounters. The U.S. John S. McCain, a guided missile destroyer, was engaged in the incident as it was engaged in a freedom of navigation mission in the Spratly Islands. The U.S. Navy often conducts FONOPs to counter what it sees as too aggressive maritime claims by other nations. The U.S. asserts that these operations promote freedom of navigation in the area and are conducted in compliance with international law. A Chinese warship allegedly approached the U.S. John S. McCain during the mission, challenging the U.S. ship's presence in the region, according to the U.S. Navy. The U.S. ship was apparently given a radio warning by the Chinese vessel to depart the area right away. The U.S. John S. McCain reportedly responded by asserting its authority to operate in the region and carrying out its mission. Both the U.S. and China downplayed the significance of the incident, characterizing it as a normal meeting. The episode is noteworthy, nevertheless, for a few reasons. First of all, it's the first time in several months that a U.S. and a Chinese warship have engaged in a similar incident in the South China Sea. Second, the incident happened at a time when a number of factors, such as trade, human rights, and Taiwan, are already straining U.S.-China relations. Last but not least, the incident happened just one day after one in the Sea of Japan, involving a U.S. vessel and a Russian warship. For its part, China has insisted that it has sovereignty over the Spratly Islands and the waters around them, and has accused the U.S. of transgressing its borders by carrying out FONOPs there. Also, China has said that the U.S. is attempting to sow unrest in the area and has forewarned it not to play with fire in the South China Sea. In contrast, the U.S. has insisted that its FONOPs are carried out in compliance with international law and are intended to protect the region's freedom of navigation. The U.S. has also charged China with militarizing the South China Sea and making efforts to impede other nations' freedom of navigation in the area. The event has once again brought attention to the complicated and delicate nature of the situation in the South China Sea, where numerous nations are battling for control over the area's resources and strategic importance while asserting conflicting claims and interests. Rich fishing grounds and probable oil and gas reserves can be found, in particular on the Spratly Islands. The South China Sea serves as a major conduit for international trade, making the area strategically crucial as well. In recent years, the U.S. has taken a more active role in the area, with a particular emphasis on containing China's expanding influence. Several FONOPs and joint military drills with its allies have been carried out by the U.S. in the region. Senior officials from the U.S., including the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense, have paid high-level visits to the region as part of the country's enhanced diplomatic engagement. China, on the other hand, sees a danger to its territorial integrity and strategic interests in the U.S.'s growing participation in the region. In response, China has increased its military presence in the South China Sea and asserted its rights to the area more vehemently. In the Spratly Islands, China has also built a number of artificial isles that it has used to erect military infrastructure, such as airfields and missile systems. The incident in the Spratly Islands involving the U.S. and Chinese vessels serves as a reminder of the possible consequences of such clashes in the area. The South China Sea is a congested and heavily traveled region, with a large number of military and commercial ships transiting its seas every day. Any error in judgment or misunderstanding could result in a catastrophic event with possibly disastrous results. The tragedy also emphasizes the need for diplomatic settlement of the regional conflicts. The U.S. has taken a strong stance in favor of its allies in the region, but it has also emphasized the significance of finding peaceful solutions to the conflicts. In the South China Sea, the U.S. has urged all parties to abide by international law and desist from using force or coercion. China has also urged a peaceful settlement of the regional conflicts. But the international world and its neighbors are concerned about its operations in the South China Sea, particularly the building of military installations on man-made islands. Tensions have also arisen between China and its neighbors as a result of Beijing's growing military assertiveness in the region. Vietnam and the Philippines in particular have accused China of violating their sovereignty by conducting military operations within their exclusive economic zones. It's conceivable that the incident involving the U.S. and Chinese vessels in the Spratly Islands will affect U.S.-China ties more broadly. A trade war between the U.S. and China has already broken out, costing billions of dollars in tariffs and endangering the stability of the world economy. The persecution of Uyghur Muslims in the Xinjiang area has drawn criticism from the U.S. regarding China's record on human rights. Finding consensus on these and other problems will likely become more challenging as a result of the incident in the South China Sea, which is likely to further sour relations between the two nations. The incident also brings attention to the South China Sea's potential for escalation. In recent years, the area has witnessed numerous conflicts between the claimant nations, occasionally resulting in vessel collisions and even ship rammings. Although these incidents have typically been settled without escalation, it is possible that something more serious may happen. Countries in the region must improve their own defenses and capacities in addition to their diplomatic efforts. This entails building up their navies and air forces in addition to creating fresh methods and techniques for maritime security. The U.S. has been a major player in helping its partners in the region with security, including training, equipment, and intelligence sharing. Building these nations' capacities and fending off possible Chinese threats will require ongoing U.S. assistance. The international community must take part in settling the conflicts in the South China Sea as well. A framework for the resolution of maritime disputes, including the creation of exclusive economic zones and the rights and obligations of coastal governments, is provided by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The UNCLOS guiding principles and the rights of other nations in the region should be upheld by all parties. One instance of the continuous tensions and dangers in the South China Sea is the incident involving the U.S. and Chinese warships in the Spratly Islands. It will need a sustained and cooperative effort from all sides to resolve the complicated and diverse issue over the region's sovereignty and resources. The possibility for cooperation and collaboration in managing the region's resources and security exists, despite the significant dangers of war and its escalation. The South China Sea and the surrounding area can have a peaceful and prosperous future if the region's nations can cooperate with the assistance of the international community. In order to find a lasting resolution to the South China Sea conflicts, all parties must agree to uphold international law and participate in constructive communication. The two most powerful nations in the region, the U.S. and China, will be key players in this process. They can contribute to ensuring a peaceful and stable future for the South China Sea and the larger region if they can figure out a way to cooperate to manage their disputes. Thanks so much for watching till the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn the notification bell on so you never miss a video. Until next time, see you later.